Hello, dear friends. This is The Medium's Harvest by Emmanuel, a book that was mediumistically written by the medium Xavier. It was written in 19 meetings in 1960, and published in 1961. The devoted spirit Emmanuel, as an educator of the soul, the teacher of the beyond, comes to us to unfold lessons not only to make us understand cognitively our mediumship, but to feel it. Not to feel what mediumship is all about, but to really make us incorporate in our lives. Many people think that religion is a section of our lives, like a part of our lives. There is life and there is a religious life, like there is work and life. I remember when teaching work-life balance as one of the topics in patient management skills. And I remember recalling this realization. How can work not be part of life? The same question to us. How can our religiosity, our spiritual practice, not be part of our lives? Many people separate. They're like, oh, this is my life and this is my religious life. This is my life and this is my work. So what is life then? Life is what? Work is life. Our religion is life. This is life. And Emmanuel brings to us that realization that there is no separation between our lives and our religiosity or spirituality. Actually, the universe is a temple. As Leon Denis says, the temple is our universe, and our lives are dedicated to the one Lord of our lives, God. Right? Today, since we were not created alone, when we talk about mediumship, we're talking about our lives, our interactions, our relationships. Of all things that we do, our relationships are the most important part of it all. Building a house, buying a car, being promoted, getting a degree, yes, are needed, but they are not the essential element. How we do it is the key word. How we do it, because we're going to need people. We cannot build a house by ourselves. We need people to build a house. We're not going to construct it from scratch, make the bricks, and then make the windows. Nobody does. We all need at a certain point help. And this help that we're talking about forces us to polish our interactions, our relationships. So we are born to learn to relate to one another. If we could just remind, and I say remind because deep inside we all know, but remind our children, the spirits in the body of our children, remember, you're here to master relationships. That's why we're here, to master relationships. The awareness of it is one step. Not necessarily it's going to be the end of it all. We need to work with it. We need to be patient, to be tolerant, to be indulgent, to be calm, to practice many virtues that were yet to unfold. No wonder, Emmanuel is titling chapter today, chapter 50, Problematic Siblings. Yes, he's talking about the inevitable living with people that are difficult for us. Who are they? I don't know. But we may be the difficult ones in people's lives, right? It's possible and natural. So don't be sad if people say, you are my stumbling stone. I'm so sorry. That's not my intention. But hopefully, we can verify and see if that is a realization of somebody who is projecting their conflicts on us, or if we're really becoming a stumbling block on people's lives. This realization that pertains somewhat to the understanding of features and facets of mediumship is portrayed in chapter 50 of the Medium's Harvest. But Emmanuel relied upon item 254 of the Medium's book, paragraph 1, to discuss it. May I read to you? Yes? So let me read to you. It's in chapter 23, which is all about obsession, and item 254. Kardec says, "We shall close this chapter with the Spirit's responses to a few other questions that will support what we have stated. Question 1. Why can't certain mediums free themselves from evil spirits who attach to them? And why don't the good spirits whom they call upon have enough power to drive the others away and communicate through their intermediation?" Answer. Good spirits do not lack the power. Rather, the mediums are almost never in any position to help them. Their nature is more adequate for other relationships, and their fluid identifies more with one spirit than another. This is what gives such power to the spirits who want to deceive them. Okay? Today, at our mediumistic meeting and study session later, Mentor Joseph was clarifying to us the mediumistic affinity, the fluidic affinity that is inevitable between the medium and the spirit depends and is influenced by our psychosphere. André Luiz talks about this. Our psychosphere, meaning the summation of the thoughts that we create, that we form, as Kardec stated in the book Genesis. This year we're celebrating 160 years of the publication of the book Genesis by Kardec. There is a chapter that talks about formation of thoughts, thought forms, fluids imprinted in our quality with intensity and frequency. They stay with us. It's almost like, as Mentor Joseph said tonight, we're using a perfume during the day. We come to a mediumistic meeting, that perfume comes with us. What is the perfume here? It's an analogy for the thoughts we create, the emanations that we have. If I am daily thinking of the good, seeking the good, feeling the good, visualizing the good, and molding the good with all the resources I have at hand, this is the emanation. I'm emanating this seeking the good. It radiates like a perfume, like a scent. I go to a mediumistic meeting, I can more easily connect with higher spirits because foundationally they easily connect with people that want to do the good always. But on the other hand, if I spend my whole day, my whole week thinking of very mundane things, it's about a party, it's about petty things in life. This is the perfume I'm using, the thought forms I'm creating, the emanations, my vibrations. And then on a particular day, I go to a mediumistic meeting. Oh, now I want to do the good, think the good, feel the good, do the good. But the emanations are here. The perfume I've been using is here. And if this perfume is here, What do you do to change? Rubbing it off with a towel, the towel of prayer, is not going to get it off. See? This is what we're talking about here. Kardec is saying, if the spirits are not going away, it's not because the superior spirit cannot do their work, it's because we are not doing our part. And to attract the good spirits and to be able to connect, we need to be willing to do the good. Right? Let's say a little more about what our teacher tonight, Emmanuel, tells us about these spirits that are creating problems for us. They may be incarnated, they may be discarnated. Chapter 50, problematic brothers and sisters. There was a public meeting on June 8th, 1960, based on Chapter 23 of the Medium's book, Item 254, Question and Answer 1. Emmanuel then explains to us, there are always many problematic, troublemaking siblings. Sometimes they are legions. They find themselves incarnated among humanity and walk sowing rebelliousness or revolt. They are discarnated from the physical sphere and they communicate the venom of despair. Easily identifiable, they signal rebellion. They speak of duty and bow to violence, refer to the rights, and become vampires. They create pain for others, locking themselves in the pain of themselves. They are commonly called evil spirits, when more properly they are unhappy spirits. They mock everything that escapes their domain. They are invincible in the citadel of their pride. They mock the highest values of humanity and believe to deceive God Himself. Certainly these brothers, entangled in a profound imbalance, they will be among us, training our innermost forces so we learn to help. Do not ask why they exist, since we had paired up with them until yesterday, when we had greater ignorance. Do not demand that the counselors of spirituality suppress their inferior condition to magic strokes, since we're all siblings with a natural need for mutual assistance. Above all, it is our responsibility to support the work of those who departed before and inspire us, and to do our best. For this reason, do not call yourself useless. If we are not worthy for good works, why would have God given us the flame of conscience and the breath of life? However, preaching is not enough. It is necessary to take action. Besides being troublemaking siblings, the unhappy companions are also our daily observers. In spite of the sacrifice, attend to your share of effort in the planting of goodness and the sweat of perfection. Let us know how to suffer and fight for the victory of the good with devotion and serenity, even before those who persecute and slander us, always remembering that in every noble service The absent person has no reason. Wow. This book, you're right, my friend. This book is amazing. And I think tonight, this is one of the crowning chapters. Because when we talk about mediumship, we talk about our redemption. We talk about a tool, an ability of the soul that can be used for our inner knowledge and to be a pathway for the relief of others. Do you like talking to people? Do you like people to listen to you? Listening to others is one of the most important skills to make people feel the relief of life. Do you think that the discarnate spirits who are in need of help, they wouldn't like to have somebody listening to them? Listening to their problems, understanding and even talking to them? Who does it? It's not easy. It's not easy for superior spirits to come and help them out. It's easier to count on mediums and mediumistic groups to bridge it up. And that's where we can redeem ourselves. So let's go back. Do you doubt that there are incarnates or discarnates that are in need of help? No, right? 2, do you doubt that there are many spirits who are problematic? They don't know what they're doing. I'll give you an example. Recently, in a mediumistic meeting, a spirit came and was using her abilities to create problems in families. And then when the counselor was talking to her, she revealed, when he mentioned about God, she was like, God? What? What God? When I was young, I went to a Sunday Mass. I was a dreaming 12-year-old. And I believed in God. And when I was home, going home, still carrying the Bible with me, a relative of mine raped me brutally. And by doing so, I started questioning God. Through the dialogue, she is given relief. A nurse then approached spiritually and gives her some medication to calm down. Spiritually, they have more resources than we do materially. To be given an opportunity to heal the wounds. The wounds that then generated a lifetime of frustrations. And she kept using that hurt and imposing the hurt onto others. Emmanuel says, they are not evil spirits, they are unhappy spirits. They don't know what they are doing. They may be entering our homes, creating commotion. And we say, go away, go to the light. Who are they? They have history, like you and I. They have history. They don't do this out of madness. Their madness is generated by some form of frustration, some form of hurt. So Emmanuel rescues the true meaning of obsessing spirits. They are suffering spirits, and they deserve our loving care. So what do we do with them? Many people are going to say, go to the light. Please, Where is a strong medium that can take these evil spirits away? Question, what are we doing to attract these spirits? What are we doing? Where are they? See, Rihanna is sharing with us. We have the same case with a boy who prayed to God while he was abused, and now tell me God he did not help. Exactly. Wow. Is it like a incarnated person, Rihanna? Is it? And Angela, Angie Stewart is here saying, yeah, this is an amazing book. Blessed is mediumship well applied. It really requires a lot of study, perseverance, moral qualities, levels, so mediums be always well guided. You're right. Right? So, what does Emmanuel tell us? Now, this is good. Thank you, Rihanna. You see, these are true stories. How can we not understand their pain? So they say here, these are spirits that will, let's observe, what do they cause? When they are incarnated, they are creating rebelliousness. Yes. So there are obsessing spirits, there are evil spirits who are incarnated. But deep inside they are suffering. We don't know, but they are suffering. And if they are discarnated, they create despair. Look what's happening nowadays on the earth. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? The world's going to end. Then there is this war, this catastrophe. Like today, people are like, oh my gosh, a storm, a winter storm, a winter storm, a winter storm. Of course we have to prepare ourselves. But what was it? A little bit of snow, a little bit of freezing rain. Of course we have to be cautious, but not desperate. Cautiousness is one thing, desperation is another. Some people are like, oh my gosh, what if today's the end of the world? What if who creates this desperation? The minds that are not evolved, discarnate spirits. So we need to identify emotional trademarks. Okay? Emmanuel says in the book Thought in Life, emotions generate ideas, ideas generate attitude, attitude generates character. And a life, a pathway, emotions. Emmanuel is giving us true hints. Incarnates when they are troublemakers, they are going to incite rebelliousness. These are the people who are at our work and are constantly bad-mouthing other people. They are not well. They are suffering. That's a form of ignorance. So, are we going to team up with them in the Gaza Mule? Because if we are, we're just alike. Who are they? Those relatives in a family who love to see the little shortcomings and they are creating dissensions in the family. These are obsessing people, obsessing incarnated people. We often think that obsessors are only discarnated. No, 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 no. They are incarnated as well. When they are discarnated, they create rebellion, despair, and they are violent and they suck people's vitality. Be careful. They create pain for other people. They create pain. So we need to be careful. He's giving us tips and hints about feelings, emotional patterns. Think. How are they generated? Oh, somebody is pushing that button in me. What do? Do not go there. Step back. Pray. Make a choice consciously. I do not want to stay in despair. I believe in God. I do not believe in dissension. I believe in unity. I believe in tolerance. I believe the world is progressing. I believe we are evolving. And we are challenged because it's part of the growing process. Many people interpret challenges as punishments. I had many students who thought that exams, tests, often they ask, Dr. Anseloni, are you gonna trick us in the exam? I'm like, trick you? It doesn't make sense to me as an educator. The educator shouldn't trick students in exam time. That's not the function of exams. Tests and exams are opportunities to revisit the content and think more about them and double check how much we have actually, dealt with the concepts. Yeah, so I'm not gonna trick you guys. That's not the role of it. Because when educators play that role, they are not educators. They are mocking teachers, not educators. And there are many of them. So, we are learning here with Emmanuel that these spirits, incarnated or discarnated, they bring a group of emotions that we can easily identify. 1, rebelliousness. 2, despair, fear, despair. And violence, pain. Whenever you see these elements, be careful. We're not alone. Okay? So Emmanuel is giving us straight tips by emotional patterns, vibratory patterns, telling us whenever you identify these elements, ask yourself, where is this being generated? Because good spirits are not going to inside and say, be careful, hide, because the world's gonna end now. No. They don't. How do I know? Well, many ways, but I'm just gonna tease us with a book, because that's a good teaser, huh? Paul and Stephen. When Stephen is undergoing the martyrdom, he's being stoned to death. And he's the first Christian martyr. You may ask, where is Jesus in the picture? How can Jesus allow his followers to go through this? And you learn through Emmanuel's description that Jesus was watching the whole thing. But you think he's inactively watching it? No. He has a group of messengers that are bringing relief to Stephen. Read the book Paul and Stephen, and we're going to rescue those elements. They are not going to prevent us from undergoing the needed lessons, the needed tests, the needed trials. But they are going to help us go through them productively, effectively, supporting us, bringing relief. Okay? So here we have the patterns. We're going to repeat because it's never too much. When we talk about identification of emotions, that gives a sign that we are surrounded by incarnates or discarnates who may be bringing problems. They tell us things that are going to create rebellion, fear, despair, pain, violence, aggression. Then we step back and say, why? Let's move forward. They mock everything that escapes their domain. Bullying, so common nowadays. He's talking about bullying. People who are bullies, they are truly obsessors. But why did they become obsessors? They are invincible in their pride. They mock the highest values of humanity and believe to deceive God. Many people are in this pattern nowadays. Many. Now Emmanuel is going to make us understand why they are like this. Because they are in profound imbalance. And we are allowed to go through the process first because we need to practice new virtues. Patience, tolerance, indulgence, kindness, compassion. And also, he says here, don't ask why they exist. Because until yesterday, we were pairing up with them. Says Emmanuel. You think yesterday we were not? Hopefully no longer nowadays. Who said yesterday? Think about 100 years from today. Minimum. You're going to look back. I will look back at this day. And I'm going to see things that I'm doing wrong that right now I don't realize. But in 100 years, 200 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, I'm going to identify my infractions regarding the divine law. Well, big deal. But if I have that realization now, I'm going to be better off. Do not ask why these troublemaking spirits exist, because until yesterday we paired up with them. Do not demand that the high spirits come and push them away magically, because actually they need our help as we need their help. You know, children, babies, young children and babies, you have to vaccinate them, right? And you should. It's God's mercy that we have vaccinations. So why do we vaccinate? To make the immune system stronger. Be prepared. Have a reference. We already have soldiers in our bodies, antibodies prepared for when there is a real attack, we can respond quickly. Now, same for discarnate spirits, or the incarnates who are called by us troublemaking people. Says Dr. Dias da Cruz in another message through Chico Xavier, that obsessing spirits are like viruses that threaten our health. By being in contact with them, we create immunity. So instead of feeling defeated, think about 20 years from now and how much the experiences of today are preparing us for the experiences in the future, in future lives. And we don't even realize it. We don't want to be in the comfort zone. We want to say, God, I don't know why this is happening. You know, it's hard. But if you are allowing this to happen in my life, I need to understand and learn something. Please, make me see it clearly. What is it? What is it? Don't allow my pride, my ego, to blind me. Please take the veil of my ego away so I can see clearly what the lesson is here for us, for me. What is it? I'm here to learn anyhow. What is it? Please show it to me. So this is the best approach we shall take. It's a surrendered approach, right? Rihanna is mentioning, we learn together with patience and love. Exactly, Rihanna. And Rafael Medeiros is saying, Paul and Stephen describes the church of all Christians should take by example. Exactly. So, Emmanuel says, above all, it's our responsibility to support the work of those who departed before us and inspire us, and to do our best. So don't think you're useless. So it is on us to take action. Which action? To know that these unhappy and suffering spirits, they are observing us. So, is it going to take sacrifice? Yes. Which sacrifice? Sacrifice of the ego. Because you'll be willing to wake up. What is an easy day, like Sunday morning, Easy like a Sunday morning. La, da, da, da. People wanted a Sunday morning every day. Like, wake up, no rush, breakfast in bed, everybody very loving and caring, sunshine by the beach, health, beauty, wealth. That's what many people think is the goal of life. Until we realize that it cannot be like this. That's not why we're incarnated. We can be at the beach therapeutically to recharge. We can have some breakfasts in bed, every now and then if needed, if that's a preference, because sometimes people don't even care about this. But waking up to serve, waking up to help, waking up and feeling useful, one day is gonna be the preference of humanity on earth. Saying, thank God I woke up to help, and I can help. Thank God I am useful. Thank God I have a job. Thank God I don't have a job, but I can do other things. Thank God this, thank God that. And then I see life from a different spectrum. Here, he's saying to us, sacrificing that ego, the child inside of us, very filled with whimsical child. Attend to our share of effort. Doing what? Sowing the good. Remember the galloping, Do the good, do the good, do the good, do the good. Do the good, do the good. And working hard to perfect ourselves. Working hard to perfect ourselves. Let us know how to suffer and fight for the victory of the good. With devotion, serenity, devotion. So if we talked about emotions that are being brought by these energies that are discordant, what shall be the ones I choose? He says, devotion, serenity, the feeling of sowing the goodness, noble service, but being present and mindful, not running away from the tasks at hand. Right, friends? So this is the main message of Emmanuel tonight. Do not push them away. Do not run away. Let us pray for them and hope that we can sooner than later, be firmer and more conscientious. Right, Rihanna? Big hug to you and Nico, Carol Correa and Mark Smith, how are you? Rafael Medeiros, how are you? Souza, big hug to you. Rudy, an invitation to pay full attention always and be present. You're right. Amanda Andrade, how are you? Célio, big hug to you and your wife. Angie, how are you? Nora Brazil, Nina Dewey, Adriana Sanchez Monteiro, big hug to you. Julija, beautiful Julija. Paula Andrade, how are you in the group in Tennessee? Patricia Guiri, member of Cardiac Radio's team. Thank you, Patricia. Katia, how are you? And Luciana, our dear sister of the heart, how are you? Karina Lisi, big hug. Narciso, our light man. Sueli Rezende, big hug to you. Teresa Castro, Andrea Torres, John the Rose, my eternal friend. Paula, how are you? Leia, how are you? Leia Severo. Adilson. Cessa Costa, how are you? Sunshine. So friends, today, is it clear the message for us that Emmanuel is giving to us? Together with Kardec. I know it's uncomfortable. We don't like viruses and bacteria. It's like, oh, okay, please come, let's have a party. Oh yeah, obsessing spirits, let's come and have a party. But remember, there is something between us. We connected. So let us change ourselves and help them change them as well. I know it's not easy. That's why Emmanuel, very truthful, he says, let's learn how to suffer and fight for the victory of the good. So clear, right, Paula? Yes, Paula Andrade, our Paula de Matos, right? It's clear. So let us pray more. So go to the Gospel According to Spiritism. The last chapter, the last item, prayer for the obsessing spirits, the obsessors. Let's emanate for them a lot of love. All we need is love, and they too. All we need is love, love. Love is all we need, right? Tomorrow, when we come back, what's gonna happen? We're gonna talk about good spirits. Emmanuel, thank you, Emmanuel. Beautiful balance. The troublemaking spirits, good spirits. And what is he gonna tell us? He's gonna say, respect those that do not create problems for you. Due to the help that you receive, you acknowledge the help that you can give. The good spirit, therefore, is not only that makes you do the good, but above all, the one that teaches you to do the good to others. Da-da-dee, da-da-da. There's more to it. This is a super teaser, okay? It's not a spoiler. It's a teaser. Come back tomorrow, because we're going to be rejoicing in this beautiful message of understanding who the good spirits are, so we can be better mediums and better people too. Shall we, friends? Until tomorrow, God willing. Thank you.